Hi vinyl community, George Allen here. Vinyl LP, CDs, and who knows what else. Depends on what the dog drags in, huh? Or the cat, for that matter. Anyhow, gonna do a short video. Um, Something that came across the internet I saw, picked up, and gonna talk about uh, one person, I guess, one band, one person in particular. And a little bit different, I guess, today. Going to talk about Bill Champlin. And in particular, going to start off with his first band, uh, the Sons of Champlin. And one time I had their record. It was a double record. Sons of Champlin came out in 1969 when the original hippy dippy bands. They lived together on a farm. I don't know if it was a farm. They lived together in a big house, kind of doing the San Francisco thing. And I had the album, and like all things that you have from that time period, those who were fortunate that they were able to keep their vinyl collection together for 50 years, more power to you. But moving from different places, over the years, 50 years of moving, things kind of go the way of the earth, and disappear. Well, it was a great double album, great artwork in the front, and I think I saw videos that somebody did in the vinyl community about the artwork in the front. And when Columbia first released it, they went back and were trying to change it because of something in the artwork, whatever. But Loosen Up Naturally was their first album. They had a horn section. I think they were about the third to come. Theirs came out pretty close to when Chicago Transit Authority listed theirs. Blood, Sweat, and Tears were the first to come out with a group with a horn section. Then, Chicago's and the Sons came out with theirs, I think, pretty close about the same time. But great music. Now, this, of course, because of the wonders of electronics, it came out on one CD. As it came with a nice little booklet with artwork in it. And as you see, they had some pretty funky artwork in here. And it tells, yeah, here's a picture of the group. All the guys were young back then. And pretty cool, huh? So we're going to be talking about Bill Champlin and mostly in this. And they did a second album that was called The Sons, and I believe it came out a year later. It was a good album too. But from what I understand, reading now, as they began to tour and stuff, brought a lot of pressure on the band. That's what happens, sometimes I guess these bands, when they hang out in one place, things go well with them, they start touring, things happen, they start falling apart. Anyhow, that's all they did. This, I don't remember the name of the second album, but they dropped Chaplin's name. They just went by the Sons. They did a second album. And I had that, I remember that. It was a good album too. But anyhow, as we were talking about Bill Champlin himself, that's the subject of this video, before I lose track here. He went on, he did some work with some other San Francisco guy. He started doing work with, he joined up with a guy from Moby Grape. They formed another band. I think they did one record. However, what he found his talent was Bill's a very soulful type singer. And he found out being in the studio that that was his really his talent, working in the studio. And he ended up doing background vocals for a lot of different bands. In fact, I was amazed as I started digging into this that he started doing background vocals for REO Speedwagon, for Al Jarreau, for George Duke, Boz Scaggs, Elton John, Lee Ritenour, Amy Grant, Barry Manilow, of all places. Hey, you know one thing that really cracks me up? Over the years, doing crate digging, working the flea markets. In fact, years ago, my wife and I even had a booth in a flea market. So, we hit a lot of auctions, garage sales, those type of places. It seems like everywhere you go, I found thousands and thousands of Barry Manilow albums. I thought that guy must have had more albums pressed than any one person in the music industry. Everywhere I go, Barry Manilow, Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow's Greatest Hits 1, Barry Manilow's Greatest Hits 2, Barry Manilow's Greatest Hits 3. I didn't know he had so many hits, but I wasn't a Barry Manilow. Listen, I don't mean to offend any Barry Manilow people out there. I don't. But I don't know, did he have so many hits? I didn't know that. But anyhow, what that did was eventually it landed him a gig with Chicago. And he ended up being with Chicago for a good number of years, and he co-wrote or wrote some of their biggest hits. And he was with them for like 25 years. And so he left them in 2009. He replaced Terry Kath, suffered a terrible death. He was a keyboard player, singer in Chicago, and that was tragic. He replaced him. They had another guy for a while, then Bill took over and was with them for many years. Then, just recently, and this is why I'm bringing it up, because I was liking the Sons, and so this struck me because I just found out about this CD recently in 2018. Bill's back at it again with a group called WunderGround. All new material. Him and, let me see his name here, Gary Falcone, formed this band. Bill's wife, her name is Tamara, who's a singer. She's, I guess, originally from Austin, Texas or something. They formed this band, WunderGround, and did this CD, unavailable on vinyl, and it's got this one here that I got has 13 cuts. Here I found out doing some research, if you lived in Japan, you can get the Japanese version that has 15 tracks. But even these 13 is like 60 minutes of music. And there's some really great songs on here. Now, Bill's a few years older than me, and him and Gary Falcone wrote mostly. Bill wrote some himself. Him and Gary wrote a bunch of the others. And it's not a bad CD at all. I mean, it's got some good stuff. Some of them it's listed as indie rock, and there's some other songs that are not as much rocking. They're kind of soulful stuff, which is, right up Bill's alley. He likes doing the soulful music. That's the way it's always been, even on this Sons CD. It's tended to be more R&B rock type music, and that's the trend this goes. And his wife Tamara sings on a bunch of the songs, and it's just a good CD, and I'm really liking it a lot. In fact, there's one song, Imaginary Friend, that's a little bit slower song, dreamier song. It's very soulful. I'm liking it a lot. And I've just been able to listen to it, I think, I just got it in the mail on Saturday, so I've only just had it this weekend, but comes with a little fold-out booklet, like, you know, a lot of CDs do come with now, and here's a picture of them on the inside, you know. Bill's looking a little older, of course, but it's really good, has all the lyrics and everything. So, Bill Champlin still, after all these years, going strong. Hey, why not? Rolling Stones are even older than this guy. This is the CD. There, CD. How about that? Anyhow, I just thought I'd do this video, bring this to your mind. If you're interested in soulful indie rock, this might be something you'd be interested into. And that's the picture of him on the back there, too. So, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate all of you, what you do. So many in the VC community are working hard at bringing to light good music, interesting facts. I love watching all the videos and all that's being done out there. So Thanksgiving's coming up, and we have a lot to be thankful for. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.